Google Stadia hasn't had the smoothest of launches, but the game streaming service is now live and available. We've been testing it since the official release, and here are our thoughts on the potential future of gaming.
Thanks for watching 9to5 Google on YouTube. Be sure to thumbs up, hit subscribe, and then enable notifications with the bell icon so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
Stadia is arguably Google's biggest project to date, and let's be honest, this is likely the future of gaming. The idea is insane on paper, and the hardware is almost a side note, as everything is powered within data centers and computers with far more power than the average gaming PC. Everything is then of course broadcast to your TV, PC or smartphone. Now that sounds like a big ask, but the good news is Stadia passes the first test, as it does work, provided you have a few things. Firstly, you'll likely want the official Stadia gamepad, which is a hybrid of the winning controller formulas over the years from the likes of Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony. The size, weight and feel in the hand is superb, but like all controllers, it's not perfect by any means. The rumble features are also similarly solid. It's a great controller, but at the moment it's only playable wirelessly with the Chromecast Ultra, which you'll need to play games on your TV. It's these blockages that make little sense at this point, but it is still far cheaper than a $350 box under your TV, and at around $129 for the gamepad and Chromecast Ultra, plus 3 months of Stadia Premium, it's actually not that bad when you consider the value proposition here. You can use third-party controllers with your PC or laptop with no issues, and that removes another barrier of entry should you just want to game with what you have already. Unlike of course the traditional console methodology though, Stadia is playable across hardware, and this is its killer feature. You can pick up right where you left off on essentially anything that can run a web browser, so long as your network connection is solid. The experience is pretty polished when you do have that solid connection. It's this lack of reliance on hardware and a reliance on web that we'll probably see more from the established players in the coming years, and of course Google is ahead of the curve here despite these initial hiccups. The interface is streamlined to just get you into games on everything but mobile. You will need to download the mobile app though to buy and redeem game codes at present, which feels a little bit convoluted to be completely honest with you. We are expecting Stadia on desktop to make it much easier to purchase games and buy game subscriptions in future though. Of course, the biggest criticism for Stadia is that it also doesn't have the biggest library of games right now, which makes it hard to recommend, at least until that fills out over time. It also doesn't help that many of the titles are old or have been around for a little while. The pricing also needs to be scaled down too a tad, as paying $8 for 2013's Tomb Raider is a big ask when it's been as low as $3 in Steam sales for quite a while now. That said, there are essentially no exclusives either. There is only one from Google's game studio, and Google really does need to start cranking out some killer series to really capture fickle gamers who buy hardware for the likes of Halo, Gears of War, Mario and The Last of Us. However, in games though, the performance is where Stadia will live and die as a gaming platform. My experience was initially really mixed, but has since improved immensely. While there is controversy about the game resolutions and quality, on a solid connection at home over 3 times the recommended base speed for 4K streaming, I found it's been more or less trouble-free. That said, I have seen some very minimal lag here and there, which was far worse at launch, but has all but disappeared in the intervening weeks. I can't outright say you'll have the same experience, but for me it has been impressive, if not flawless. When it works though, everything blends into the background and it's the experience of the games that counts the most. And that experience for the most part is pretty much excellent. As we mentioned, the biggest issue at this point in time is the paltry game library. Stadia desperately needs games. I've refrained from buying many of the games on offer simply as I've completed them long ago on other consoles and PC. While that will improve over time, my biggest gripe with Stadia is that at this stage it still feels as though it's in early access, as many of the core selling features still aren't ready or available. You can only currently play on Pixel smartphones if you want to play on mobile. The gamepad only works wirelessly with your TV and with the Google Chromecast, and the Google Assistant features just aren't ready yet. It's not exactly ideal at this stage, and it would have been a very little more transparent to label the launch as a preview, as Microsoft has done with xCloud, which already boasts a bigger game library and is likely to rival Stadia for the foreseeable future. Of course, many hardcore gamers out there already have a negative view of Stadia and its poor launch, but the undoubted potential is there, and Google has the resources to really make this work far ahead of the curve. Now we just need some really killer IPs to see Stadia flourish. With all of that said, if you are gaming with Stadia, let us know your experiences below, good, bad or indifferent. But as always, this is Damien with 9to5 Google. Thanks again for watching, and I will speak to you later.